Hello and welcome back to more ReZero Arc 4. We are about halfway through this arc, going by anime episodes, which means only 19 more videos just for this arc. It's so long. So last time, Subaru had the tea party, met with the witches, including Satella, and decided that dying constantly is not the right move. And the story continues on after the dream world ends. Subaru wakes up on the ground. This time, Patrichet is licking his face. Admittedly, my dumbass was confused by this the first time that I watched it because I thought that he went back to the checkpoint, but that's not what happened. This is after the first trial, after their group meeting, and it's still the first night that they got there. You're awake. Otto, this is. I'd normally be inside. Did you carry me out? Patrichet did. She started thrashing around the moment I released her from the carriage. How did she know what was going on here? Like, she didn't show up in any of the previous loops to save him or anything. It's like she has some sixth sense on Subaru being in danger, but it doesn't work all the time, I guess. Also, Patrichet doesn't have the qualifications, so she was hit by the curse whenever she went into the graveyard. She just kind of pushed through it in order to get Subaru out. We already learned that Subaru isn't hit as hard by the curse as like Roswell is because of his gait. And I'm not really sure how ground dragons work with gates and the curse and everything, but it doesn't seem like she is hit as hard as like Roswell. She is bleeding, so it's not good or anything, but she's not dying from it, which now that I think about it, it does kind of match Roswell. Maybe she did get hit as hard as he did. In the novels, Otto doesn't show up until after Subaru wakes up. So he apparently was chasing after Patrichet, and he is nowhere near as fast. So he doesn't get there until a little bit later. And it doesn't change anything for the story. It just lets Subaru figure out on his own that Patrichet was the one who saved him. Why would you do something crazy like that? I would have come outside as soon as I woke up. Why did you save me? You really don't know why? I'm with Otto on this one. What the fuck, Subaru? This isn't the first time that Patrichet has risked her life in order to help him. And in fact, several people have told him that they care about him, many of which would and actually have given their lives to help him out. Subaru's self-esteem is still shit, but he has said that he is going to be working on this, and it's only been like a day, so it makes sense that he hasn't made much progress just yet. Otto exchanges a few words with Patrichet. She said, "Don't make me say why. You really don't know? Leaping to save someone when they think they're in danger, saving them regardless of the risk to yourself, and smiling when they wake up. I believe the feelings behind that are the same, whether you're a human or a ground dragon. You're really dense. It must be nice to be you." Tears start to fall from Subaru's eyes. Natsuki. No, it's not what you think. It's just the timing. I see. You actually like me, huh? Never thought you'd be the first one I'd learn that lesson from. Thanks, Patrichet. Were you worried? Wait, do you like me too? Could you not say such gross things? I'm only thinking about what comes next. Yeah, I know. We're friends, after all. That conversation has not happened in this timeline yet, so Subaru is just casually throwing out the friendship card and then moving on. Does this mean I passed the second trial? Subaru tries to walk into the graveyard, but is immediately hit by the curse. He falls to his knees and throws up. It rejected me. Did I lose my qualification? That nasty little... There's something I need to do. In the novel, Subaru actually sends the other two away before he goes into the graveyard. He's wanting to take the test, whether that means it's the second or the third one, because he's not sure what the results were from the last attempt that he made. I'm pretty sure this was the payment that Echidna was talking about at the tea party with the other witches after Subaru left. The web novel very much just states that's what she was talking about. Basically, the payment for her giving him a clue about Garfield was that she was taking back the gift of being qualified to take the trial. She took that back as payment. Wait, if he lost the qualifications while inside, that means he would have been hit with the curse while he was unconscious. Holy shit, that may have been a bigger deal than I thought. I'm not sure if Topei thought about this beforehand or if it just happened to work out well for the story, but it's really good that Patricia came to drag him out because if he would have just woken up while inside the tomb and then got hit with the curse, he would have struggled to get his way outside. Which doesn't necessarily mean that he wouldn't make it, but he definitely would have been a lot worse off if he had to push himself that hard right after waking up. And he probably wouldn't be able to do a lot of stuff that he needs to do for the rest of this loop. But no more trials for Subaru. He is pissed off the teacher, and now she's not even letting him retake the test. And the novels go into more of his thinking and planning, but it's mostly recap, honestly. In the web novel, he goes to the giant crystal again, but because he no longer has the qualifications, he is no longer an apostle of greed, which means he no longer has the ability to control the Ryuzus. And now that he has reached a roadblock in every version, he goes to talk to Roswell. A way to leave the sanctuary without going through the graveyard? I do believe this may not be the first time. It's the first time we've discussed this. It'd be pointless to even try to count how many times we've interrogated each other now. It would seem you have quite the history with me. I've learned a lot of other stuff too, like about the facility Ryuzu is in, and that Garfield is an apostle of greed. It's more clear in the novels, but Subaru is intentionally being direct here to make it seem like he's got his shit together. He wants Roswell to think that his whole plan to sharpen Subaru is working, so that maybe Roswell will let some more information slip out. But to forgo the graveyard seems awfully cowardly. Do you have a reason for such haste? I just can't bear to watch Amelia keep going in there and getting hurt. Well, that whole tough guy act didn't really last very long. It does last longer in the novels. Subaru tries to point out that Sanctuary is pretty insignificant, all things considered. It's not really going to give much influence to Amelia, but Roswell is still not going to let it go. In the web novel, Roswell blames it on the fact that he can't know for sure whether Subaru has a redo ability. He's just kind of going along with it because the gospel tells him to. Getting Amelia through Sanctuary is necessary for Roswell to truly believe that Subaru can do the things that the gospel says. And I'm kind of glad that the light novel and the anime dropped this idea because it feels like it's not completely correct. Like, there is probably a little bit of truth there that he's not sure, but I feel like even if he wasn't, he didn't believe it at all, he would still do it anyway because the gospel tells him to. So this kind of feels like trying to come up with a justification after the fact. Ad hoc, that's what I was thinking. So it just doesn't really seem like it means much by this point in the story. Surely you don't mean to say it would pain you to undergo the trial for her. If you truly love Amelia, it should be a simple task for you. I see you still have not sharpened your resolve enough. Roswell removes the makeup from his face. I had just a little bit of hope that maybe, just maybe, I could see the future I desire. He lays down, trying to end the conversation. But you have yet to even stand at the starting line of your resolve. My resolve? What do you think I expect you to possess the will to carry out your objective, even if it means trampling on Amelia's will. If you truly do it for Amelia's sake, then you must ignore what Amelia wants. That's totally backwards, isn't it? Yes, that's just fucking stupid. So long as there is life, there is a future. So long as there is a future, there is hope. So long as there is hope, there is possibility. So long as there is possibility, people can be saved. Am I wrong? Nothing to say in response, I see. Roswell pulls out his gospel and holds it close. In that case, while you work on sharpening your resolve, let me press you on one more matter. I believe you have already faced many of the problems that arise within this sanctuary, but those problems are not limited to the sanctuary alone. Do you mean the mansion? You know about? Of course. The order to have assassins attack the mansion came from me personally, after all. It was you? I sent assassins to the mansion to help sharpen your resolve. Even with your authority, you can't save both. You have to decide which is more important to you. Once you've made that choice, you can never take it back. Eventually, you will be perfected as a being who can only save one and no others. This is something that's been hinted at for a while. The mastermind behind everything happening is Roswell. He knew about the witch cult attack, and he intentionally put himself out of the picture so that Subaru could take the lead. In addition to that, he got himself stuck in Sanctuary so that eventually Amelia and Subaru would have to go there, and then Amelia would also get stuck. Roswell would then secretly push Garfield into pressuring Amelia while he hired assassins to go attack the mansion. Amelia would then crack under the pressure and not be able to handle the trial while the people at the mansion died. Given what we saw in the last loop, I don't think Roswell knows about the Great Rabbit. He's just making a blizzard so that everyone blames Amelia and puts more pressure on her. But it kind of works well for his overall plan of putting pressure on Subaru, so he doesn't care. Thus, we get the current situation of two different locations being under threat. Roswell doesn't think that Subaru can handle all of this, even with his redo ability. He's set up this entire scenario so that Subaru can become more like him. Roswell would sacrifice everything if it meant that he could achieve his goals, as is apparent by everything that he's done up to this point and everything that's happening right now. Subaru wants to help Amelia. So Roswell is trying to take that and make it so that Subaru will be willing to sacrifice everything in order to help Amelia. Because it helps Roswell. And that's it. That's the entire reason that he's doing this. At the end of the day, he doesn't give a shit about Subaru or Amelia. He just thinks that they will help him accomplish his goals. His connection with the assassins also brings up some questions on basically everything. Like I said earlier, they were the two big issues for the first two arcs of the story, and we never learned why they were doing what they were doing. And Roswell just happened to be out of the picture for both incidents. I can't remember if it's been fully confirmed, but all the evidence points to Roswell being the one who hired the assassins, which means that Subaru's entire story, from the moment that he got to this new world, has been going the way that Roswell wants it to. This is kind of the hypothesis that Subaru comes up with in the novels. And there's more that I could probably add and more theories that I could talk about, but I'm going to wait on that stuff. I'll tell you when you're older. The conversation is kind of the same in every version, but it's really drawn out in the web novel. And then the light novel cuts it down a little bit, and then the anime cuts it down even more. You're seriously insane. I've been insane for a long time. Ever since the moment I was enchanted by those eyes 400 years ago, I have been insane. Another hint for the future. This Roswell is not 400 years old. He's around 30, I think. But that comment will be explained more later. In fact, there's a lot of people with weird ages in this arc. Subaru, why aren't you insane yet? To overcome circumstances that one must be insane to face, to walk the path of isolation, the human heart is only a hindrance, so I will force it upon you. Please, please forgive me. It was all my fault, so I want to do what you said, but I can't. I lost the qualifications to undergo the trial. What? Please, setting the assassins on the mansion won't do any good. No matter who dies, it won't. Please. Subaru doesn't put his head down to the ground and beg in the web novel. They're in the middle of arguing about Amelia being useless, something that I have said before myself. But Roswell is much more of a dick about it. He keeps referring to Amelia as that thing instead of acknowledging her as a person. But they're arguing, and Subaru just states that he can't take the trial. It still messes up Roswell, but Subaru is handling all of this really well in the web novel. The only thing that trips him up is whenever Roswell brings up the stuff at the mansion. No, I refuse. In fact, I now see an even greater need to do so. If you truly wish it, Echidna will surely restore your qualifications. That's the nature of her greedy personality. You can fix it. Therefore, my actions will not change. I will continue to corner you, to sharpen your resolve, until you are perfected. Don't get conceited, Subaru. You're not the only one who understands Echidna. If you hate me, then make me the only one you hate you. I could never hate you. You are my hope. The only ones who allow me to feel any kind of hope are you and Ram. I will never be like you. I'm human. I'll always be human. Subaru runs out of the room. Subaru is stuck. Roswell's not going to let up on the pressure no matter how bad things get. In fact, the worse that it is, the better it is for Roswell. So he's going to have to find a way out of the shitstorm that he is in now. As I said before, Subaru isn't breaking down in the web novel like he is in the other versions. So he doesn't storm out of the room. Roswell just says that he's done with the conversation. Subaru gives a final fuck you too, and then he just turns around and walks off. In both novels, Subaru runs into Amelia, and he even comments that this has happened in a previous loop, so it's not that surprising that she would be out there. I do think that the anime cutting this part hurts Amelia's general perception, or hurts the general perception that people have of Amelia. Or maybe it might be better to say that it doesn't help with her image. Let me explain. They talk, and Subaru says that he has been looking for a way around the trial so that she doesn't have to take it. And in one of the first times she has ever shown any good mental fortitude, she says no thanks. She tells him that she is choosing to do the trial. She may not have chosen to be in this whole situation, but she wants to help people. She is choosing to take the trial, and she's not going to go through a loophole. She's going to do it, and she just wants Subaru to be there to cheer her on. He realizes that he is doing exactly what Roswell wants. He says that he wants to protect Amelia, but he's just been treating her as if she is weak and useless. She pushes back against this idea, and in typical Amelia fashion, she is very gentle and nice about it. She just says that she's going to take the trial, and she's going to do her best to beat it. Not only is she locked in on what she needs to do, she also kind of hints that she likes him. She says that she is able to keep pushing herself forward because Subaru loves her. His feelings for her gives her strength. And I think she's subtly telling him that she likes him too. Not that she understands her feelings on this or anything. I think it's more unconscious thoughts at this point. But it's there, and it adds to Subaru's feeling ashamed for how he's been acting and thinking about her this whole time. And I really feel like the anime misses out by not having this. Subaru continues to run until he trips. What am I supposed to do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Would you like me to tell you what you should do? In the web novel, Garfield is actually the first one to find him. Subaru apparently fell asleep in the forest, and Garfield found him and woke him up early in the morning. And he comments that Subaru's personality is different again, as if his personality keeps changing, which is not that surprising. Otto shows up pretty soon after and gets Garfield to leave so that they can talk alone. So it lines back up with the other versions pretty quick. Subaru even comments that Otto has some type of relationship with Garfield. Like they're not complete strangers, even though they've only known each other for less than a day. Otto is a merchant, so naturally he's been working on making connections with everybody. And we kind of saw that in the loop where they were trying to escape, but I don't think it's super clear how much Otto had a hand in negotiating all of that. In this instance, it is clear that he has been putting in the work. And it's not needed for the overall story, but I do think that's nice to show off his merchant abilities, particularly the more political side of it, of making connections with people that's being shown here. I don't feel like the other versions do as good of a job of showing that off. And like I said, it's not super important for the story, so I guess it's fine. Otto, what are you doing here? Let's put that aside for the moment. We need to talk about you first. You are deliriously muttering to yourself with a face like someone who is about to die. You always seem to find me when I'm in the freakiest states. In the few days since I've met you, I've only seen you clean at the Karsten Manor, I believe. That is a line from the light novel, because I liked it better than the anime. Sorry, I don't have time to crack jokes with you. I need to think. So right now, you were at your wit's end, right? And you want to know what you should do. Just leave it to me. This will take some preparation. First, take a long, deep breath. Subaru hesitates, but eventually gives in. He closes his eyes, breathes in a deep breath of air, and gets punched in the face. Stop trying to put on a tough front around your friends, Subaru. You keep getting into situations where you need to reach out and help, but both your arms and your head are too weak to reach far enough, so you end up wasting time frantically flailing around, right? Do you hear me? If you hear me, say something. Otto picks him up and headbutts him. What the hell was that for? Subaru tries to rush in, only for Otto to sidestep and trip him. You finally lost your temper, but you forgot to pay attention to your footing. That just sums up you perfectly, doesn't it? Pathetic. God damn, Otto is just going in on Subaru. But he's not wrong. In the novels, he hits him a lot more just to prove that Subaru can't fight. You know you're not good enough, don't you? Jesus. Okay, maybe he's being a bit too harsh. You want to look good for the girl that you like, don't you? You want to be someone that the girl who likes you can be proud of, don't you? Then why don't you just accept someone's help? Someone like a friend. I did rely on someone, but it didn't work. Maybe, but I don't recall ever hearing you ask for my help. Subaru is talking about Echidna, and Roswell to some extent. The novels explain more of Subaru's thoughts. Not being able to explain Return by Death kind of creates a lot of problems with trying to explain all of the problems that are happening right now. Echidna and Roswell know about his loop ability, so even if they're not really helping him, it's easier for him to go to them first because there's less restriction on what he can say. In order to tell Otto what's going on, he's going to have to leave out enough information that he's going to look fucking crazy. So in addition to not wanting to put Otto in danger, he also just doesn't think Otto is going to believe him. And that's not something that's hidden in the anime. He's about to say it out loud here in a second, but it's just explained in more detail in the novels. My head is just full of knots. It's full of stuff you wouldn't believe even if I told you. I don't even know how to start. Just start talking. I'll listen until you're finished. If you have time to overcomplicate everything in your head, then just spit it out. Spit it out all those knots, and then when you're done, just tell me to believe you. Because I'm your friend, alright? Otto, once again, coming in with the power of friendship. Subaru gives in and tells him everything that he can. And in the novels, we get a little bit after Subaru gets done talking. And Otto asks if it's okay for him to run away now. They skip over talking about the plans because, of course, gotta build up that suspense. But now Subaru has a partner in crime, and next time we will see them start to put the plan into action and finally get some goddamn progress on all the problems that are happening. Anyway, that's it. See ya.